She asked me what, said you've been to the East and you've been to India, and what did you do there? And I said I did nothing. And she said, oh, I see that you don't want to answer that question, I'm sorry I asked. And I said, oh, actually I wasn't putting over anything on you, that as far as pretty well, that's the simplest and most honest answer. That took me a little while to get round to it, but I eventually really did manage more or less to do nothing at all. I didn't think, I didn't read, I didn't write. I spent whole days not saying a word to anyone, and no one was saying anything to me either. I wasn't worrying, I wasn't thinking about the future or remembering the past. I wasn't doing any yoga particularly. I wasn't taking exercise. I wasn't being lazy. I was just hanging out. And she said, I can't understand that at all. I don't understand that. One of the difficulties about talking about this or many other things is that as soon as one says anything, people think that one's making a prescription for what they ought to do. And the sort of if for instance at the moment I'm not eating meat or fish, and practically every meal I've had in since I've been over in New York, though I may say not so much in Britain and not at all in India, someone will make some remark about why aren't you eating meat, and or it really makes me nervous. Why don't you eat meat? When I've people say, if you don't eat meat, why don't you not eat vegetables? They're living as well. And I'm saying, well, I'm not making anything out of it. I don't have to explain myself. I don't even know really why I'm not eating meat. I'm not making a number out of it or an ideology out of it or a dogma out of it. I'm not prescribing non-eating of meat to anyone else. I've enjoyed a lot of meat in my time and may do in future time. But as of now, I don't actually feel like eating meat. And it's such a hassle, so much of that sort of thing, if one allows oneself to get hassled, of having to explain oneself if one does anything that's slightly not what most people are doing.
Yeah.
Or letting one's face move, that's another thing. How often I remember in my life being told by people who were sort of close to me, or my wife or something, try and watch your face. Don't make these facial expressions. Don't turn your eyes up. Don't flutter your eyelids. Don't do that sort of stuff that you do with your mouth. Don't show your teeth in the way you do. There's nothing sort of look at. If you do that sort of thing, people think you're crazy.
Yeah.
Compose yourself, and it's perfectly easy to do it, but I can't be bothered. There's a chap in London who I've sent people to. He seems to have a real flair for working with the voice, and the way he puts it in terms of the theory that what he does is that very few people have found their true voice. They have some false voice. It's like it's a voice mask, as it were. It's a false voice that expresses in voice terms a false, the false self or system and so on. And that so he works with people individually and in groups, and he adapts his tactics to each individual person with a view to coaxing or finally evoking from them that voice which is their voice, which always comes from
deeper in the body,
deep, from the heart and the guts, and so on. I suppose that one of the things that I can't help feeling somewhat when I'm sad about, that so many people never allow themselves out of whatever considerations take precedence. The sort of fear, I suppose, that if they let go, they would run amok or be violent and lose control of themselves in some damaging way, etc., etc. And I also respect that anxiety, and some people do seem to, many people do feel that they're sitting on top of a volcano within them. And I mean, that's where the true physician or therapist and the art of true therapy comes in. That all right, we all got different parts to play, and some part that some people can do as a contribution to the common weal is to be a medium for in terms of a relationship with whom some people can find themselves more.
Yeah.
Though I really find it increasingly more difficult to put this sort of theoretical construction on these matters, because it all sort of sounds to me so much rather just get on with it and talk about it.